Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes React Time. Office Bloke Dave.
Office Bloke Mike.
Office Bloke Daz.
Collectively in a room, all three of us make the Office Blokes.
Yes, we do.
Correct.
True factual statement. We have a... What do we have, Mike? Do we have anything?
We certainly have a Patreon channel. I could tell you about that. Go to patreon.com. Put in Office Blokes React. We've got over 100 videos on there that no one else can see apart from patrons and channel members. We're doing exclusive content every week on there as well. So and you can join us there for just £1.50 a month is our cheapest tier.
Nice.
So go down there, check it out.
Do it.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, why not? Right then, you mentioned this morning.
I did. I was watching. I watched a lot of NFL over the weekend. It's no, it's not even it is the weekend, isn't it? I guess. Yeah.
I can't figure out
It's one of them
what
days they're all over the place. Isn't
It's
it?
technically a bank holiday weekend, I suppose, for us, wasn't it?
So on New Year's Day, there was no English football on. I couldn't find any horse racing. It was decent enough to watch. So I was like, what am I going to watch then today? What the fuck am I going to do?
There was no beach volleyball or topless darts.
I came in work in the morning, sort of thing, and then when I got home, I thought, I'll put the NFL on. And I was watching, so I actually went to the pub instead, and every TV in the pub had all the NFL on.
Yeah.
And I was like watching it. And there was a guy sat next to me who's a big Washington fan, and he knows the NFL inside out. So I was having a good chat with him, sort of thing, and we were talking about all the different games. And then this happened in a game yesterday. We're recording this on a Tuesday, is it?
Right, okay.
I think it is Tuesday. Yeah. So this is and this is like a news thing of it. I just typed it in on YouTube to see if there was anyone talking about it. Terrifying football moment as Bills Hamlin,
I think he's called Damar Hamlin, is his name.
Okay. Collapses after a tackle. Now, what you said this morning was he went in for a tackle.
Yeah, he was tackling a wide receiver, and then he got up and then collapsed. And since learned that he's had a cardiac arrest, and he's and he's on.
Yeah, so we didn't know anything about this, did we?
No,
That's told us this morning. So
yeah, well,
sounds pretty bad.
Let's watch the news clip talking about it then. So this is terrifying football moment as Bills Hamlin collapses after a tackle.
We're following some late-breaking and upsetting news out of Cincinnati tonight. This is actually something that's just happened at the Monday Night Football game tonight between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Buffalo Bills. It happened right before the top of the hour. It was in the first quarter of the game. A safety for the Buffalo Bills named Damar Hamlin, he's in the number 3 jersey in white there. He made a tackle against another player, and then he fell to the ground. We'll show you that again. He tackles the gentleman number 85 in the dark-colored jersey from the Bengals. He stands up, and then he collapses backwards. Mr. Hamlin is 24 years old. Again, his name is Damar Hamlin. He's been in the league for 2 years. After he fell over backwards here following this tackle, he was unresponsive thereafter, which immediately became clear it was quite an emergency. First responders came onto the field, including in an ambulance. Players surrounded him and knelt on the field. Medics administered CPR for what ESPN described as, quote, many, many minutes out on the field. He was given oxygen. There was one report in the New York Times that he appears to have been given an IV, although that is unconfirmed by any other source. They eventually took him off the field in the ambulance, which left the stadium at 9:25 p.m. So Mr. Hamlin's status at this moment, again, is unclear. He is 24 years old. This game is suspended. ESPN reports that the NFL commissioner, Roger Goodell, is in contact with officials on site about how to proceed tonight, whether they're going to restart the game. Hard to imagine.
Did you say it was a cardiac arrest?
Yeah.
Or some? That's because this was like 8-9 hours ago. I think this video that we're watching now. Maybe they didn't know it was a cardiac arrest at that point. Isn't that for a defib though? Shouldn't he have been got the defibrillator?
Depends on what it is, because it was 8 years ago today. I had my heart attack.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Funny enough. Well, yesterday.
Yeah.
Same sort of time, but it was. But they didn't defib me neither.
Well, because
it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
One is your heart stops, and the other one is your heart goes into a irregular beat, isn't it? And sort of goes sporadic, and that's when you get shocked with the defib to try and get the rhythm back.
Yeah, what happened to the guy who plays for United now, Christian Eriksen?
That's right, he did.
During the Euros, he went down in the Euros, didn't he?
That's right.
Yeah.
So possibly his heart stopped, and that's why they're doing CPR and things like that.
It's always pretty frightening, isn't it, when young people, 24 years old, and it happens to young, fit people like that.
It took a bit of a hit there, and it looked like the helmet got him like round this area here.
It was.
The guard might have hit his chest right in the...
It looked like it, didn't it? Yeah.
Super athletes, though. You know, so
they are. That's it. They're so fit. It's absolutely terrifying.
I hate seeing this, mate, on football, on any sport.
Yeah.
Someone gets hurt from just playing what they do, what they get paid for.
That's absolutely awful, isn't it? You can imagine the crowd, probably family in the crowd as well, seeing it. It must be absolutely terrible.
Yeah, see how much it affects the teammates there, because I mean they're all big, strong, manly men, aren't they? And they're all in tears.
Yeah, of course, and what you see there, it could be anyone. It's such a like a powerful sport where you're going into each other, at speed.
Yeah,
at speed and with power. That it's it can happen to anyone, or anything can happen.
That's it. It can be a dangerous sport, can't it? I suppose
it might be nothing to do with the hip. That's
Possibly.
the thing.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it does just happen, doesn't it?
Yeah, it could have been something that'd been waiting to happen, I suppose. But you see, until they investigate, I don't suppose they'll know.
When you watch it, you see he's like he took a little bit of when he got up, he wasn't steady.
He wasn't. He was kind of dazed a little bit. It looked like,
and then he just went down.
Yeah,
and that they will. But this was just an incredibly scary moment tonight. We will keep you posted as we know more. But joining us now is William Roden. He was a longtime sports reporter at the New York Times.
Yeah, his legs were gone.
Mr. Roden, thank you very much for joining us so quickly as we're covering this as a developing story. Let me just start by asking if we know any more than what I've just summarized there.
No, I'm just I'm doing the same things. Looking at Twitter, and really I'm just kind of shocked. I was down here. I'm in Baltimore, and I was at the Ravens Steelers game. And Rachel, this is, right now currently I work for Anscape, ESPN's Anscape, and I was here for them. But this has been a nightmare. I think the NFL's nightmare. And I was just thinking about this the other day. What happens if something like this happens? It's like the NFL's worst nightmare. It's a violent game. We know it's a violent game. We've just been through the whole thing with Tua Tagovailoa. The NFL Players Association is investigating that, what the medical staff knew. And I just think we've become so anesthetized to this violence of this game that when something like this happens, it's just total stunning, because it could literally happen on any play. This kind of stuff could literally happen at any time, and I'm almost at a loss. I know it's not our job to be at a loss of what to say, but I'm really at a loss. I feel for this young man's family. Like you said, he's 24. He played at Pitt, just trying to make a name for himself. And all these players out there, every single one of them. This is part of the deal. You basically lease your body out to the team.
It's 28
you lease your body out to the team.
Something's wrong.
And exchange for whatever they give you.
Watch 28 from the Bengals. He's like when he falls next to him and he points down. He's obviously yelling something.
Where's 28?
See 20 at the top of the screen there now. He comes to pick his teammate up.
Yeah.
And then Hamlin falls next to him.
Right, okay, yeah.
These are the risks. In fact, the column I was writing was
20,
about Lamar Jackson and his current status, with the Ravens and the contract negotiations, and how he just decided to play through it, and then he got injured. And, you realize that whatever they're paying you to do this is not enough. It's not enough. And
kind of assuming that it's to do with the game, though, at this point, the way they're talking. That
it's definitely an impact from the game.
But there could be a pre-existing condition, like normal people do.
It's always strange on me with sportsmen and fit sportsmen like Christian Eriksen, because they are giving pretty much thorough medicals every year, I think, aren't they? And I think sort of like monitored. Yeah, I think they're monitored on an ongoing
daily
basis, aren't they? But it's incredible how things like how things like this happen. I suppose.
It's took a huge hit there, and it's like in this like immediate area here, and the face guard's probably
it could have done. Yeah, it's definitely in that area, wasn't it?
The way you look at it.
Can impacts cause things like that?
Yeah.
They can.
So, yeah.
Wow.
And this isn't really the time to moralize, but like I said, I'm really stunned, and I'm shocked, and I'm saddened, and there's almost a part of me that feels a little guilty because we watched this stuff. A number of years ago when I was at the Times, I watched a player from the Jets in a game at Detroit. It paralyzed, and I can't recall his name. I was about to call him up, but this could happen at almost any minute, and this is just awful. I mean, it's awful, and I can't imagine that they're going to resume this game.
No.
And
no, I can't. I mean, seeing the players on the field weeping as Mr. Hamlin's taken off the field, you can't imagine that they're going to start this game. I think the players would probably riot if they tried to. You mentioned the quarterback from the Dolphins there and the concussion scares, the second concussion scare that he's had, including questions about the potential mismanagement of the first one. I mean, I think part of what's going on tonight with this, the NFL is a multi-billion-dollar business, and as much as anything, America's pastime right now, is the question of whether or not all the safety protocols and all the assurances and all the supposed regulations in place to try to address these concerns are moot in the face of a game that is inherently dangerous, inherently damaging to the people who are paid to play it.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do? I was just talking with the editor about what to write. He said, "What are you going to do? Ban the game?" Yeah. Because you're right. You can. There's only so much you can do. Again, we don't know this young man's condition. I was just trying to dial through my thing. I was, during March Madness a number of years ago, I went through the whole Hank Gathers thing, collapsing on the court and dying. And it turns out that he had an undiagnosed heart issue. Reggie Lewis with the Boston Celtics, same thing, undiagnosed heart issue, a myopathy that was undiagnosed. Right. So, you're right, Rachel. I mean, what do you accept to just hold our breath and pray and hope nothing's wrong? But then we've got another another month of this stuff of playoffs and people are going to get hurt. There are people getting people are going to get hurt. Some people careers are going to be over. Some people are going to out for the season. And again, we're just so used to this that it becomes like part of the fantasy thing. Some people are probably angry because they had their fantasy points were hooked up to this, and this you watch this is not, for a lot of people, this isn't even real. It's not real. Yeah. These are just cartoon characters, who are smashing into each other, getting up, and then moving on.
Yeah, but this young man, 24 years old, the country holding him in prayer tonight. Again, his name is Damar Hamlin, 24 years old, Buffalo Bills, at the hospital right now, unclear in terms of his condition, but that game is off, and for good reason. Bill Roden, veteran sports reporter, joining us on zero notice tonight, watching this unfold along with us. Bill, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rach. Bye-bye.
Wow.
Yeah, sports journalist had very Mike Tyson vibes going, didn't he? A lot of Mike Tyson coming through in him, in my mind. Yeah. It's a...
Can we actually read any... can you see far enough to see any of the comments?
Yeah, 24 years old. The praise survives.
Newest first.
Yeah.
I suppose it's one of those, if it is an undiagnosed condition, I mean, I suppose something can go wrong at any time, can't you? You don't necessarily have to be playing sport or, doing anything, I suppose.
You're going to get the vaxxers.
There's...
Don't get involved in that.
No, but I could guarantee people are going to jump on that straight away. Just in case there's an update of anyone saying.
I checked before what was going on, and last I heard he was in intensive care in a critical condition but stable.
Well, best of luck to him. Let's hope he pulls through. We've seen like again. Mentioned Christian Eriksen before, but he's come through and he's actually playing again as well, which is absolutely incredible. Yeah. So. Hopefully there's always a bit of hope there, isn't there?
Yeah,
I think it's terrible, isn't it? Yeah.
You look at the biggest sports, especially in America, and you've got things like boxing, UFC, American football. Yeah. There's a lot of high impact, high danger sports. And there is an element of accepting the risk. Not that you expect something like that to happen, but I'm sure all the players expect they're going to get injuries, and
I think there's risk in any sport, isn't there? Whichever sport.
It's hard to mitigate everything, isn't it?
I think of course it is. When you're looking at like undiagnosed heart conditions, for example, then you look at the high intensity of basketball,
soccer.
Of course. When you're running around when you're running around soccer for 90 minutes non-stop. You know what I mean? Covering 10 kilometres
on your body.
In an hour.
So maybe part of the physical for high level athletes needs to be more than just the physicals they're doing at the moment. Maybe it needs to be like full MRI scans. They need to look over the heart to make sure it's all right.
Fall. You think we're doing that these days?
You
think, you know,
sports
with
science is
undiagnosed heart condition. You think, I mean, I don't know what things that they go through tests and that, but you think they would be able to diagnose pretty much everything these days, wouldn't you? With all the, like say, with MRI scans and things like that, but obviously, you know, we're not medically trained, so, you know, we don't know exactly what they go through, but...
We are. It's just you.
Is it me? Well, I meant me. I mean,
you just did your first aid swim, 25-metre swim.
That's right, yeah. I did do that as well, passed it.
Yeah, it's a sad thing to see that. Fingers crossed he is all right.
Young lad like that, it's terrible, but fingers crossed he'll get back on his feet, and good luck to him.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.